Donald Trump has officially lost it. Not metaphorically, not politically, literally lost it. This week, he reportedly fired an entire federal agency in a fit of rage after repeatedly screaming the F word in the Oval Office. And what triggered it? A ballroom. Because when the world is burning, Trump's priority is turning the White House into a Vegas hotel lobby with chandeliers and golf course marble. The man has turned America's house into a demolition site. And when anyone questioned him, what did he do? He fired them all. So tonight we're going inside this meltdown. The secret meeting, the profanity, and the insane plan to literally erase part of the White House in the dead of night. Let's start with how this whole tantrum started. Donald Trump has just fired an entire federal agency after losing his mind in an F-word rant. Why? Because they were supposed to review his tacky gold-plated, classless White House makeover. A project that's less restoration and more historic vandalism with better lighting. We've got leaked details of the profanity-laced meltdown that started the entire thing, what happened behind closed doors, and how it ties directly to the so-called Trump ballroom that no one asked for. And yes, journalist Michael Wolff, who's been tracking the chaos Trump has caused for years. He has receipts.
What are you hearing? What are you hearing?
Well, I did hear something, and I was recount someone who was privy to the room in which, you know, so he has this idea. He's going to do this ballroom. It's going to be called, by the way, and I don't know if this is official, but certainly within the White House, this has been official that this will be called the Trump Ballroom.
Right.
But of course,
and of course, it outweighs the size of everything else. It outmuscles everything else.
yeah, no, I mean, it's a kind of backdoor to how you call it the Trump White House, which might be a bridge too far, but the Trump Ballroom is going to be very much a real thing. So anyway, and of course that he got into this by saying the White House itself would not be touched. It's just going to be an add-on. And then of course the White House was really touched with the wrecking ball. And so when they came to him, the building, the contracting team, the engineering team, they came, they had a meeting, and they said, you know, listen, it really would be much cheaper and faster just to tear down the East Wing. And he said, this was given to me as a quote, he said, fuck, but can we do the demolition at night?
Wow.
So you know,
the idea would be Washington would wake up and the East Wing would have evaporated.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing, I mean, that's a real estate developer trick. Once what you tear down, you cannot build back. So it's a fait accompli.
So let's get this straight. Trump sits down with the engineers for his big vanity project, and they tell him the obvious. This'll take longer, Mr. President, unless we demolish the East Wing. Any normal leader would pause and say, that's historic property, we can't do that. We need preservation plans. Trump's response, fuck it, we can do the demolition at night. That's not governance. That's not leadership. That's a mob boss who thinks he's hiding the bodies behind the Lincoln bedroom. He literally wanted America to wake up and find the East Wing gone. Just poof. Like a Vegas magic trick. Except the trick is treason against history and architecture. And while this demolition fantasy was playing out, Trump's focus wasn't on safety or history or legality. It was on the optics of it all. How can we hide this from the press? How fast can we bury the evidence? The wrecking crew started swinging on a Monday. The press secretary didn't even confirm it until Thursday, by which time the East Wing was already dust and twisted rebar. They banned federal workers from taking photos. They fenced off the entire area. And, I swear to God, reports say the debris was trucked to a golf course. Because of course it was. When Trump destroys democracy, he does it with a 9-iron and a branding opportunity. He is so unbelievably tacky. But this gets even darker. Because Trump didn't just order the demolition, he fired every member of the Commission of Fine Arts, the agency that's supposed to oversee projects exactly like this. All of them gone. One email, your position is terminated, effective immediately. It's like if a student failed an exam and decided to expel the entire faculty. And just to make sure no one could stop him again, he quietly appointed his former personal lawyer to a new National Planning Commission. The guy who immediately declared that demolition projects don't need this type of review. This is autocracy. This is authoritarianism. This is dictatorship. And the price tag for this whole monstrosity, it started at $200 million. Then it jumped to $250 million, and now reportedly it's at $300 million. But of course you shouldn't be worrying. Trump says he's paying for it himself and some of his friends. And the translation for that, corporations are buying influence. The donor list reads like the Silicon Valley villain multiverse. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Palantir, all lining up to carve their names into the walls of democracy like a corporate graffiti tag. These aren't donors. These are lobbyists in tuxedos, buying a seat at the king's table, or in this case, his golden ballroom. And yes, according to multiple insiders, it's already being called the Trump Ballroom. Because when you can't rename the entire White House after yourself, though he is trying, I'll bet you'll settle for the biggest room in it. Even the commission he fired warned him this could damage the White House's foundations. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? Trump's entire political strategy is foundation demolition, physically and symbolically. Tear it down, build it up gaudy, slap your name on it and pretend it's greatness. That's not policy, that's pathology. And here's the kicker. America hates it. A new poll shows 61% of Americans disapprove of this ballroom plan. That's not liberals, that's independents and Republicans too. Even they're starting to realize you don't make America great again by bulldozing its history at midnight. Trump's obsession now isn't power, it's legacy. He knows this is his last term. He's nearly 80. His approval is sinking dramatically, and the only thing he can't stand more than losing is being forgotten. So what does he do? He builds a monument to himself, using donor money and the ashes of American heritage. When Trump said he'd drain the swamp, he didn't mean eliminate corruption. He meant build a ballroom on top of it and charge admission. And that's where we are right now. The President of the United States trying to rewrite history with bulldozers and gold leaf, firing entire agencies like interns, and turning the People's House into a private resort. It's the perfect metaphor for Trump's America. Tear down the institution, fire the experts, build a shrine to yourself, and then call that leadership. Washington didn't wake up to find the East Wing entirely gone, but one day, if this madness keeps going, we might all wake up and realize the same thing happened to democracy. If you want to see more stories like this, leave a comment down below and hit the wee subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, consider sharing it with your friends because it really helps a lot. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.